God prophesied that his Messiah would die as a criminal, but nobody saw that coming. In the Old Testament, Moses wrote as a provision in the law, if a man has committed, this is from Deuteronomy chapter 21, verses 22 and 23. If a man has committed a sin worthy of death, and he is put to death, and you hang him on a tree, his corpse shall not hang all night on the tree, but you shall surely bury him on the same day, for he who is hanged is accursed by God, so that you do not defile your land, which the Lord your God gives you as an inheritance. No one had any conception, maybe not even Moses, I don't know, that this provision would apply to the Messiah himself, that this is the way he would be executed. And think of the exquisiteness of God's prophetic ability and ability not just to prophesy, but to fulfill it, because this was a provision in Jewish law. But Jesus could not be executed according to Jewish law in Jesus' time because they were under Roman rule. And the Roman rule was they reserved to themselves the right to capital punishment. So they had, this prophecy was fulfilled. It was a Jewish form of execution, like the French were associated with the guillotine, and maybe modern countries associated with the electric chair. This had to be fulfilled. This was a Jewish form of execution for a criminal to be hung on a tree. And of course, the tree is wood, and being hung is like being nailed to it. And that all happened with the Romans actually being the ones who did the execution, though the Jews had pushed them to do it. They both were culpable, both the Romans and the Jews. In other words, all of us have sinned. All of us really sort of had a hand in this rejection of God. That's what the whole thing was about displaying. I know this is supposed to be a short, but what am I supposed to do? We've got to see the magnificence and the depths of God's love and the heights of his wisdom, that all of this could have been prophesied and laid out and happened all according to the way that God said.